Hey, I'm Grant. Welcome to Digression Bar 25. I'm joined by
Andrew.
Andrew, what is up?
School started today.
Oh, hold that thought. Do you like... I need you to pick a color, red or blue. Do you like strawberry or blue?
Oh, it depends on what.
Kool-Aide. I completely forgot how this started. I'll get red. Keep talking. Tell your story.
Tell my story?
Yeah, what are you telling?
Oh, okay.
I turned off the fridge.
You fucked up. Ah! Is this strawberry or is it cherry?
I don't know.
Actually, I think those are...
I don't know. I don't know if these have a name, but Jamie was... We talked about this on that food one on like 22. And then Jamie was buying these anyway for her class. It was like, oh, I need to buy some. I got to buy food for my podcast. So I'm going to attempt to open this thing. I don't actually know how. Do you just twist it like this? Yeah. Oh, awesome.
No, you did it wrong. Take the cap. Take the cap.
It's on the ground somewhere.
You got to suck out that little bit.
I think it'll be okay. I have 10 more of these.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what I'm going to do with all of them. So I'm just going to cheers to the podcast.
Ooh, clink.
These look so cheesy and cheap.
But they're delicious.
It's just Kool-Aide. There's nothing like unique about this. It's just regular Kool-Aide.
But it's mixed to perfection. You don't have to worry about the people doing it wrong.
I guess that's true. Every time I was in a situation where I would actually be having Kool-Aide, which is from Nebraska, by the way, if I recall.
Oh, it is?
I think so.
I didn't know that.
It always did seem like people were trying to get the Kool-Aide to stretch too far. Like, they added, I don't know, like 10 gallons worth of Kool-Aide mix to 15 gallons of water. Like that kind of thing. It's always like watered down. But then I also didn't know, maybe I was wrong. Because until you said this is in theory the way Kool-Aide's supposed to be made. But until you said that, I didn't make the connection. I thought maybe it's the opposite, where watered down Kool-Aide was how it was supposed to be. And just when I liked it, it was just people adding sugar or something. I don't know. But I wanted to get this. I figured like this would be a good start. So if you want more, I have plenty.
I haven't had this for at least 8 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, same, but it's like so iconic. Like, I don't know why it's so interesting, but the bottle looks so cheap right now and so simple. But like for some reason as a kid, it was exciting. Yeah. I don't know why. Is it just because it's like the gimmick of opening it? Because it's the same thing, like I guess idea as like a Capri Sun, where there's like a gimmick to opening the drink. You know what? Yeah,
putting it in the straw.
Yeah, the pouch and you put it in. And like, is that what's interesting? Like this, like you even had that ritual. It's like you got to get it out of like the tip, to get all of it.
I don't know. I think there's definitely layers to the appeal. I think it's kind of cheap. Yeah, it's like, oh, you don't have, especially like when you're a kid, like especially if you're like a little kid, it's like, I want some Kool-Aide, but I need an adult to pour me the Kool-Aide, or it's like, or I just go grab one of these and open it.
Like, I think that would be it, probably. Yeah.
There are multiple things where it's just like, or it's just like, what's easier, having like one of those like big coolers full of Kool-Aide that you have to have a bunch of cups with, or you just plop this 25 pack and everyone just grabs it and goes.
Maybe it's because I associate it with other fun stuff. Like if you're having this, you're having it at like a birthday party as well. So stuff like that, maybe. I don't know. I just thought that was weird because it's something I hadn't thought about forever. And then when we were doing that podcast, I was like, I need to go get these because I know instantly this is going to be fun.
Yep.
So
it is.
I almost thought like, I didn't know is it less of a thing now or am I just older? Like, because it seemed like a big thing as a kid. And that's why I was interested to see like that Jamie actually took that to her kids. I don't know. It just seems like it feels 90s-y. I don't know. I'm on all tangent. It's exciting though. I knew it was like this would be a good start, so we could talk. Someone out there watching is going to be super nostalgic for those.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember definitely in the 2000s, they were still a thing. I don't know if it's just that maybe nowadays kids aren't doing as much outdoorsy stuff where you would have these. I don't know. We need to get a poll started. Figure this shit out.
A poll? I could do a Twitter poll
about, are these still a like mainstream thing?
They were hard to find because like where would like they don't have a section for this type of item because it's not like in grocery stores.
Right? Where'd you get it?
It was in like the soup aisle or something really weird. Like not specific.
But what store?
Soup. Sorry, I'm going down a tangent. I instantly
buy clothes at the soup store?
I instantly regret saying soup. But no, yeah, it was because it's like, oh, is it with the soda? No. Is it in the cold section? No. Is it with the juice? No. But it's because it's like, Jamie and I finally found it. I guess it was because it was with some other collection of weird stuff because it's a powdered drink, but it's a dry good, so it's not with any of the other drinks. Oh. But this is a drink, but you have to put it by obviously the rest of the Kool-Aide, which is not a drink. And it was actually kind of hard to find. It was like at our Hy-Vee, it was like aisle 2 or 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Whereas you'd expect to be down other in the store. So
yeah.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
Yeah. It was
the juices is in like aisle 4 or 5 or something like that. Mm-hmm. So it's not terribly far away. Yeah. But it's still like, you're like, where the fuck is this stuff? And then you're like, oh, that's 2 aisles down. It's like,
we definitely walked all over finding it. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's in the juice aisle. And it was like, I just didn't remember it. But it was like a thing to find it. And
I remember there used to be like these big packs of them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like big, like 20.
Yeah, because you'd get it for like a
25.
birthday party or something.
Yeah. How much were these?
Those come in 6 packs. And that's the only one they had.
Are they conjoined together too, or were they just wrapped?
They were just wrapped. They're like shrink wrapped. But when you said that, I just pictured like having this giant one, like you'd have like a like a Gatorade thing, like a 10-gallon drum, you know, like those things.
Yeah.
But of this, but it's all perfectly scaled up. So you're like, okay, guys, let's get some Kool-Aide. You have to get like 2 people to like wrench off that little twist thing, and then one person just can get the cap, and they have to like drink out of that. That'd be awesome.
I want one.
That would be awesome. Or like it even seems like it'd be fun, like if you had some ability to make this yourself, to make other weird drinks and put them in there. Like imagine like if you put like Coke in there, how surreal! And like this isn't right.
Yeah,
like putting some other drink that's iconic.
I would be concerned when you do that if it starts fizzing, because it's got such a small hole that it would fizz up pretty easily, and then you're shooting out.
It's like, it'd just be like a squirt gun then.
Yeah. I guess you have to cover it up first and then do that. And then
I don't know what I'm going to do with all these. Like, I feel like well, yeah, I'll drink them. But it just seems like I don't know if I want to let anyone see me have them other than the podcast, except because I feel like if I went out on my deck and I drank that and someone saw me, I'm like 24, drinking this stupid little Kool-Aide thing. They'd be like, what's with this dudes?
You should just say they're like some of those like Japanese pops that they have.
Is that better though? Oh, sorry,
they're exotic.
I'm sorry, I'm not a man child. I'm just a weeb. Is that the message I'm going to send instead?
I just see like these weird like pop things from Japan. I don't know what they are. I just know they're weird. Like some of them, like once they have a floating like marble in them, and for whatever reason, like I think it's like so that, or maybe it doesn't float. I don't know. Something about a marble that helps like close it off somehow. That like floats in your drink.
You never would have had this, but I think it's Guinness. There's some Guinnesses that has like
beer.
Yeah, beer.
Okay.
But it's specifically that one. I think it's Guinness. It has like a little plastic ping pong ball inside of it for some reason. I don't know why. But I remember like I came across this, and when you don't expect it, it's like, why is that in my sealed drink? And then I had to go like look it up. It's a whole thing about like how it agitates it or something, and like it was just like surreal because if you open this up and there's something inside of it, obviously with this you would see into it, so it would not be an issue.
Were these drinks like glass bottles or cans, or what were they?
I'm trying to recall because it's not in every one. I want to say it must have been in a can. But then again, I don't think I feel like it was in a can, but I don't remember if I would have had Guinness in a can. I feel like I would have had that from a bottle. I don't know. But it's a thing.
But I was going to say, but like if you're just out on your porch drinking this, I doubt anyone will be able to see enough that they'll know what it is. Like you just like, it's an alcoholic drink, okay? Shut the fuck up.
The birds will judge me. They sit across there on the power line, and they'll watch me, and they're like, this dude drinking his like 6-year-old's Kool-Aide.
Hey, the birds would drink this in a heartbeat, so...
I will say it did have calories on this. Each one of these is 20 calories. That's not that bad for a drink.
No.
Like, I'm going to get back to this in a second, but I went to Little Caesars yesterday, and they're like, oh, you can get a free 2-liter if you just make this deal. And I'm like, okay, cool. And the only diet thing they had was like Diet Coke, but I had just bought a ton of Coke, so instead I got Code Red. And that's like 170 calories a serving. So compared to this, it's like, that's not that bad. I could actually drink this on a diet. I am. So if you want some Code Red, I have 2 liters of it that I don't know what I'm going to do with. They also had they had the blue Mountain Dew. I feel like
Blue or like purple?
blue. It was Volt something. I feel
Voltage was like, no.
the orange one was the best one.
Orange one's Livewire.
Livewire.
No.
Right.
Orange is not the best one. It was a good one. Blue is not the best one. Game Fuel's the best one.
I prefer Baja Blast. I'm kidding.
That's the white one?
That's the one that only gets sold at Taco Bell. So now they're
Oh, right.
yeah.
Okay, my question is, why does a Mexican-themed restaurant have
I don't know if
Hawaiian-
Taco Bell is Mexican themed. I think Taco Bell is cheap themed.
I guess.
But
Well,
it does.
Like, remember when their mascot used to be that little the Chihuahua?
I read an interesting article about that they never paid the designer of that character. And then years later he sued and they had to pay him back I think it was a lot of money. It was something crazy, like $40 million in back fees because they didn't give him his initial upfront cost. So then because of that he had rights to the character. So then instead of paying a one-off simple fee that they skipped on, they had to pay percentage of what that was worth. And it was just
who fucked that up?
Taco Bell being cheap. I don't actually know of Taco Bell as a company. I don't know.
Right. I feel like someone trying to figure out the money with it had to have figured out it's yeah, we might sell. We'll have to give him a certain amount of money now, but if we ever have to figure out that we're going to pay him later, we're really going to have to pay him later.
It was like a TIL on Reddit, but
TIL.
Today I learned because it's such a common phrase. They have a subreddit for that, TIL. That there's this amazing podcast called Digression Bar, and I should go watch it. See how many upvotes I'll get on that post. So, but I went to Little Caesars.
Yes.
And I was there and I saw something odd in the parking lot. There was someone in traditional, I guess African clothing, really colorful flowing stuff.
Woman?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was they were doing what I assume was an Instagram shoot, but it was in front of their car in the Little Caesars parking lot. But it was clearly they were doing a photo shoot. It was a thing.
There were multiple people?
It was her and a photographer kind of guy and then another dude helping. And I just couldn't understand what it was. But also...
Why in front of Little Caesars?
Yeah, why Little Caesars? I'm okay that you're doing that, but why did you specifically come to Little Caesars? But then it was they were trying to not... I don't think they were trying to get Little Caesars in the shot or anything. Because they were trying to block with the car. But that parking lot... There's another huge parking lot over there. Why would you... And it was the second closest spot to the door. I just couldn't... I had no issue with any of it. I just couldn't think of any possible reason why these things would have to come together. And I was...
What if they were really trying to do the shoot, but then they figured out they were so fucking hungry that they needed to have Little Caesars right then?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I guess the only thing I can think of is it was raining. So maybe they...
Was this today?
Yesterday.
Okay.
So maybe they had this is our only window to do it and they just happened to be at Little Caesars.
Well, had the rain stopped at
Yes.
that point? Okay. I would bet that would be the case then.
And the reason I saw this for so long, it took 10 minutes because the dude in front of me ordered all the pizzas. So I had to wait for my
All
pizza.
the pizzas?
Yeah, he's I want... Well, they only had 2. So he's I want both those pepperonis.
Okay.
So I was oh, I guess I'll just order a pizza. And I ordered a pizza.
What'd you order?
I had the deep dish.
The deep dish.
Yes. It was all right.
It's all right.
I feel I usually end up regretting getting a whole pizza. And then just either... Well, I don't eat the whole pizza on the pasta, but just
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't know. You were the one who like turned me on to Little Caesars, like,
Yeah.
because it's just so easy to be like, give me, I want that pizza.
I like Little Caesars.
It's good. But the thing is, like, I feel like it ruins it with the hot and ready a little bit because that means I only ever get pepperoni because it's there.
That's why.
Whereas if I ordered pizza,
Yeah, it only takes like 10 or 15 minutes though. So like, I want to get out, like say, hey, I'm going to be there in a few minutes. Get this ready. And by the time you get over there, it's pretty much done.
they have some new thing too where it's like they have like these racks of this on this machine. I assume it's just like a heater, like they have behind the counter. Except you can go up to it and it's got like doors on either side, and you like scan your phone. Like you order the pizza on your app for Little Caesars. Then you take your phone and you show it to the machine, and it's like, here's your pizza. It's number 6, and it opens up that just like.
So it's a pizza vending machine.
I guess, but it's just like a faster way to pick up your pizza. Because I assume you pay through it like through the app, and then you just go up and like, number 6, that's me. You scan it and you just go.
I prefer pizza vending machine. Yeah. Because, well, first off, does it do other stuff than just the pizza though? Like the like crazy bread and.
Well, no, I don't. Well, it's just basically a warming box, so you can probably put whatever you want in there.
How many boxes are there?
Like 6. It's like it looks like a vending machine. Well, it doesn't look like a vending machine. It looks like that type of machine. And then there's like little oven-looking things that you can open up. Next time you're at Little Caesars, you'll see it. It's
Okay.
a thing. I don't know why. I didn't need to go this deep into it. It's just that I was there 10 minutes and nothing was making sense. There was the Instagram photo shoot in the parking lot. 2, they sold out of all the pizzas that way. And then 3, there's this machine, and I didn't understand it. But the guy at the counter was super into his job, so that was fun.
In what way?
He's just excited.
He was all excited.
Excited about everything.
Is he younger, our age, older?
Our age, or so, I'd say.
Is he a manager?
I don't think so. It was a very weird Little Caesars experience. Like, for example, I went up to the counter. Like, I was sitting there for 10 minutes, and I was wondering, there was like this dude in the back, and he was staring at me, and I couldn't figure out why, but I didn't want to make eye contact. But it looked like if the whole 10 minutes, I just was staring at you like this. And I couldn't figure out why. And then when I got my pizza, I went up, I didn't realize there was someone underneath the counter working on something, and he was watching the dude do that. But I thought he was literally just standing in the kitchen, just dead eyeing me like this the whole time. And I was like, nothing makes sense. I just want my pizza.
It's like, is this like a reality show? Is this
Well, it was just like a bunch of really surreal little things, but it's like individually I'm okay with any of them. I just, again, like I don't understand the random circumstances like that happen in this Little Caesars. It's weird.
What if this was a fated event that you had to encounter that put you on the road to do something else?
So like if my life was like a TV drama, that would have been like the pilot. Was that?
Yes.
Yes. Maybe that'll happen. Watch the next podcast to find out.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Next time on Digression Bar. We should do a Dragon Ball Z one for a podcast then though.
We should.
I don't know under what circumstances we would do it, but I always really loved the idea of doing those little like vignette that kind of things at the end of the podcast. And like that'd be a good example. That'd be fun. Where it'd just be like, I don't know, do like a 6 to 10 second parody of it, and just be like, next time on Digression Bar Z, and something stupid like that. I don't know, but again, can't do that unless I get these done earlier.
Yeah,
because that'd be a whole thing. But I do want to do some video shorts. That's why I was talking to you. I want to look into getting like more of an actual professional camera, not basically 3 cameras I bought off like some guy on Amazon that are just basically refurbished personal camcorders. They're just like little Canon ones. I want one that's actually a little bit more good and has like ports and stuff I could use. And I want to use that to go do some simple little shorts. Like I have a couple in mind that I'd like to do. And maybe we can wrap that in. Throw some on at the end. I want to do more stuff like that. It would just be fun to film it.
You were saying something, and I made me think of something.
We'll see.
I can't remember what it is anymore.
I got a whole list. I can go on more. Oh, easy one. So I have all these dishes out there, and there's a reason for that because I haven't been able to use my sink because my garbage disposal was bad until it got fixed today.
Today.
Yes, it was that.
At what time?
It was at like 9:30. And
So you weren't here.
I was here. I worked from home today.
Oh.
So, because I didn't know when he was going to come. And I thought
This is true.
I thought it was going to be this whole involved process, and I thought I knew what he was going to find in there, and I knew would have to explain it.
What is this?
No, it's something super simple. I had a fish, right? It's just me. Right? You remember that fish? The beta?
Yeah.
He died, right? Got rid of him, all that. But then Jamie wanted to clean out his enclosure. And she's like, oh, I'm going to wash these rocks. But she used the strainer. So one of the things I had to do, I was like cleaning dishes over there, and I turn it on one time, and I'm like, Jamie, why are there rocks in my garbage disposal? He's like, I don't know. It's like, there's got to be some very specific reason why there's rocks in my garbage disposal. And because I feel like there's no, like, what circumstance would that happen normally?
Rocks in the garbage
Yes.
disposal?
It looked, I was just afraid, like, surely he's going to come, he's going to have to dismantle it, and I guarantee you it's a garbage disposal, so it's probably terrible in there, especially because it's stuck and I couldn't run it all week. So I thought for sure it was going to be like a terrible task for this dude. He hates that he has to be the one to do it. He's going to get all the way here, and then he's going to look at me like, he's going to ask me, why do you have rocks in your garbage disposal? And I thought I would have to defend it. So this is the whole thing.
Okay, so what happened though? Well, he got here.
He got here. He basically, without stopping, he's like, oh, you haven't garbage disposal? He just walked up, opened the doors, reached under, turned the crank. He's like, works now. He blew my mind. I thought it was going to be this whole thing. And he's just like, it looked like he just flipped a button on underneath.
Why didn't you just tell me this before you came? Like, why didn't you just tell me to do this? It's like, did you try turning it off and back on again of garbage disposals?
Yeah. Well, I guess what I didn't know is, I think this is what he did. He said so. Is I guess there's a manual crank where you can just turn it yourself, and then that will like push stuff out of it, because it has like some kind of catch where if it is blocked when it starts up, it knows to like stall so it doesn't hurt stuff or something. So it knows if you have like a fork in there or something, don't just instantly go full blast. It's my understanding. So you can just like manually get rid of it a little bit. So that's what he did. I thought it was going to be this whole thing. I was going to have to explain the story about the fish and all that. And then it's going to be like, he's going to think I'm stupid, but I didn't wash the rocks in my sink.
I don't think garbage disposals are actually particularly hard to install. I'm pretty sure it's all pretty much self-contained. You basically just like take the old one out and plug a new one in.
Well, I was afraid he was going to have to actually open it. And I feel like I knew it was probably, again, it was just like one rock in there. It's probably not a big deal, but it seems like the kind of thing where it's like a 10-second thing to fix. But if you do it wrong, then you cause like way more issues. So that's why I was like, I'm just going to have them do it. So that way I don't like, oh yeah, I wanted to get my rock out. So I dismantled the entire unit of fix it. And then that would be like a whole thing for them. I didn't want that to happen. So that's why I was like, I'm going to be home, because I know I'm probably going to have to explain this.
That reminds me of, I mean, I've only watched very little of The Office, but I remember the episode.
We watched Scott's Tots. Why do you not watch The Office? You have a very specific reason why you don't watch The Office.
Because it's cringy.
It is, and that's why we watched the cringiest episode.
And I'm not a fan of cringe.
That is a very specific kind of humor.
Yeah.
So.
But I remember one that the one where Jim and what's the girl's name? Pam are having their baby, and and Dwight goes to his house for some reason, and she's like, "Oh, well, might as well fix this thing while I'm here." And then by the end of the episode, he's like taking out a wall and like putting another thing in. There's like a bunch of guys, and they just get home with the baby, and they're just like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I think it was something simple, like he went to go, like, what was it? It's like he didn't like the water pressure. He went to wash his hands. He didn't like the water pressure in the sink. So he's like, I'm looking here. Oh, there's black mold here. I got to rip out all these cabinets and fix that. Yeah. And then it's like, well, I'm going to do that. I might as well redo the counters or something. And it just got like really just crazy.
Yeah. He just got back. He's like, what the fuck?
He is a great character. I always wonder about that, because I feel like when you come up with a character like that,
yeah,
it's really easy to emulate it once you know what the character is, but it must be so hard to like sit down and like from nothing make that character.
Yeah.
You know, even from a writer standpoint or just like the actor, like create that idea, because like his character just in that show just comes out kind of fully formed. Like he was instantly that. Whereas usually you either see like characters like grow and then they kind of hit their niche.
I'd argue that he started out like really weird and he just slowly becomes a better person.
Do you watch The Office or not? I don't know.
I've seen like sporadic episodes. Because
Well, he's not a bad person. Or are you saying like more? What do you mean better?
better as in just like not as alienating. Like I don't think he's morally wrong. He's just.
It is interesting how the shift is. At the beginning of the show, you're like, yay, Jim, boo Dwight, because Dwight's like tightly wound and the annoying coworker. But as the show goes on, I feel like I hate Jim more and like respect Dwight. And like I follow
Like he's like Jim just says shitty things.
Yeah,
or-
he constantly pranks Dwight.
yeah.
Yeah, and like that's why I actually like remind me if I saw someone post on their subreddit about how like, oh, Jim's been pranking him for 8 years, and then when he finally gets like free access to Jim's house, all he does is like fix all his stuff. And it's like, oh, that's such a good guy. Whereas Jim's like terrorizing him every day. So he's like such an asshole. And it's like it's between that and then like Michael Scott. That's like the two people he works with, and it's just like,
Except he likes Michael Scott.
yeah, that's true.
Like he's like Michael Scott's his hero.
You should watch The Office, just beginning to end. Maybe not all the way to the end. There's a lot at the end that's just kind of like whatever. It's kind
Does
of
Will Ferrell come in for a while?
yeah. The entire like last few seasons are just like a blur because they go through this thing after Michael Scott leaves, Steve Carell. Yeah. They go through different managers, and it's just I don't know. It's not really as memorable, and it just kind of like is all over the place. So and then they finally just kind of end it on a really good note.
I thought I heard that like part of it is like after Steve Carell left that like a lot of the other characters started like picking up his like quirky behavior type things like for no reason.
Well, the thing was like he was like that show. Yeah. And so yeah, like I think a lot of the characters used to be I think that's the natural progression is the characters get crazier and crazier as the show goes on. Cuz like there's a lot of ones if you watch like the first few episodes that pretty much everyone's just like a basic person. But then by the end of it, everyone does kind of have like some kind of crazy personality to them. Like everyone.
I don't know. One of the characters I feel like is funny. Who's the like the big guy?
Kevin or Stanley?
Kevin.
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 He has
He starts out like just like looks like he's just like just like maybe autistic, maybe, but like for the most part. But then like as like the show goes on, he just seems like he's just dumb as a rock. And I feel like that's very much how I felt like Caboose was in the beginning in Red vs.
I actually was watching that because I got the 10-year RVB set. I was going through that, and that's one thing I always noticed too is like when they first show Caboose, he's just got a guy and he's kind of just like snarky.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he just dives off a cliff.
Yeah,
and he just becomes that character.
He doesn't actually seem stupid at first.
Yeah. I mean, he's not stupid, but he's definitely like, I don't know how to, because he only has like 2 lines before that happens, or like all the lines are just like kind of either whatever or just like they're for plot.
Well, I don't know. Like, I feel like some of the lines he's like said in the beginning like actually made sense, and like, fuck this guy telling us like coming in and like telling us how to make sense. And he's right. And then I think after he kills Caboose is where it goes, which I don't actually like. I don't understand why they blame him for that because he's like. I didn't pull the trigger. I didn't do anything. I turned it on because they said to use the tank, so I did. And then all of a sudden, it's like, it's doing things without my control. I don't understand.
But he's turned it on, so it's his fault.
Yeah. But wouldn't both Tucker and Church have been killed if he didn't come there with the tank?
True. I don't know. Would they? They're not really competent at killing.
You already talked about Sarge.
I want to actually say,
Reds.
what's like the kill count of all the characters in RVB?
Well, later on, a lot higher.
Yeah.
Like when they do the stuff on.
Caboose is -1.
I like. My brother has a poster where it has the kill counts, and she was.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I've been watching a ton of like RVB stuff recently. I don't know if you remember this, but like in one of the I think season finales, they had like a button scene like after the credits. It's not actually on the Netflix one or anything, but it was like I want to say it was the end of season 1 or 2. They just like fade to black, but on the episode version on the website, it would come back and it was just like the Halo 1 lobby and had all their scores, and they just start yelling at each other. Like, who killed our own teammate? What was that about? And it was hilarious. But it was that same thing where they all, the kill counts were all accurate.
Yeah.
Like, Caboose was like -1, Tex was like 12. It was... I haven't thought of that in so long. I've been going through so much of that stuff.
Well, Caboose's actually has to be higher, because remember when they... with the red... Or the one where Sarge and Caboose are like go to like the place with the capture the flag grunts are fighting, and then like he gets set off and it's, like, kills everyone.
But was that Caboose or O'Malley?
I think that's Caboose.
Isn't that where... I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to be watching that stuff, so I guess I'll find out. But that's super fun. It's just like great to listen to. I just recently went down and I started... Before this, the reason I got all into it is I wanted to rewatch it all, like to get to the new stuff they did. Because I feel like I fell off after I had to actually pay attention to it. Because it used to be, it's like a podcast. You just really listen for the audio and then kind of glance at it. And then it's like, oh, all these action scenes. That's cool. But now when I had to suddenly watch it, it was like hard to find time for it.
I don't know. I've kind of like stopped listening to Rooster Teeth stuff for the most part. I don't know.
Too much. They did some cool stuff, though. I did watch that.
They do a lot of stuff, and I feel like it's just increasingly just getting political. Like, this is not what I want.
I feel like I don't know how I got on this tangent. But yeah, that's what I was doing when you came over. I don't know if you saw. I was just having it play while I set up this podcast.
How did we get on it?
I don't know.
I mean, I see it. I mean, you have it over there. I see that, but...
I don't know.
Oh, stupid characters.
Stupid characters, yes.
And I said
fortuitous.
Because Caboose was like...
Well, I don't know. Maybe you were just segueing very conveniently there. I was like, oh, clever.
Good job, brain.
I want to call out how your tongue is blue right now. I'm sure like mine can't tell because it'd be red, but I didn't think about that with Kool-Aide.
It's a little red. Like,
well, it's a tongue.
Well, right, like redder
yeah.
in the back.
Also, all the blood I ate before you came over. You know, we start every podcast by sacrificing a goat. You know, because that's the only way we can make this happen.
Don't be ridiculous. Your teeth would be stained then.
So what else was you? I feel like I'm dominating this. I try not to dominate the podcast too much.
I don't know, but I talk about. But it's not like when Jamie we're talking over Jamie. Like I'm involved. You're not talking over me.
Well, I just feel bad because like I'll go back and edit it, and I'll edit everything, and then when you can see the timeline and you see like all the like I don't know what color it'll make me, but it'll make say all my videos. Or whenever I cut to my video, it shows as like green on the timeline, and you'll be like blue. And then when I look at it, it's like, man, this is all green because I can basically see all the cuts together. Or it's like, I remember like when I edited like podcasts like 1 or 2, I tried to pull it back because I didn't realize like, man, this is just 20 minutes of me talking before you guys say anything. And it was clear, like it was an uncut chunk of like 20 minutes, and it's just like, oh, that's also even why I add, like having the wide shot is not just to show everything, but that way I can like cut around, so I don't have to like just leave it on me. Or you for however long. It's nice.
I mean, that's true.
So plus it lets me like edit better if I can cut between cameras, because then I can hide like ums and ahs and like pauses.
So what are you talking about?
No, I don't do it as much, but it's like sometimes just like, what was that again? You like pause for like 10 seconds. Oh, it was this. So it's just easier to say, cut that out and jump to a different camera.
So you're saying that part where it's like, I was going to say something. Because you said something that made me think of something, and I can't think of it now.
I'll probably cut around it a little bit. Wink. Movie magic. So
I still love that one, like the when they first went to or like Welcome to Rooster Teeth skit with Bernie.
Yeah, where they did the office tour. Very good one.
I love that movie magic. He's like all blue.
Yeah, totally recommend that. But I think that was a huge inspiration for doing like wanting to do like those short, like do some actual animated not animated shorts. Video shorts, which like I always loved, and same with Ellie, the very simple little sketch, whatever they did. I would love to be able to do something like that. It just seems like fun and interesting. And I like the idea of like sitting down, writing it, and then like filming something. But so I'd like to do that in the future. It's just hard because you also notice like all the constraints you have. Like you could plan everything perfectly, and you could just be like, "Oh, it's just overcast today. Guess we're not doing it."
Wah wah.
It was like I had to complain. Like I was
just like that Instagram.
Yeah, it was so dark in here yesterday when it was raining. By the way, like I film a thing every Sunday that's just like us a status update for the channel.
SOC? Or
Yeah, that's what I do. You probably see them every Sunday. They follow like, boop.
What does that stand for?
State of the channel. That's what I do. But it's just like a something. It's vaguely like a vlog, but I definitely don't want it to be called that because that's not how I see it. But I usually do it over there on my desk because I feel like that's a good like background. And like it is so dark, and I don't want to get out every single light just to like light this 6-minute video. But it's just like I have no recourse other than that. It's just it is dark in my house, and there is nothing I can do about it. It's just like, well, damn.
Get more lights.
I do, but then it doesn't help to like put lamps everywhere. Like I leave these lights out usually. I'll probably put it away, but just because it's like it's dark. And I remember like when I first got these big box ones, Jamie's like, "Are you really gonna have those on?" I'm like, yes. And then instantly once you turn it off, it's like, oh man, it really is extremely dark in here, and you just get used to it. It's like, oh yeah, yeah. I got these LED bulbs that are over there. It's because like the ones in my bedroom are out, and I got these daylight bulbs, and I replaced all 4 of them in my bedroom, and they're like way too bright.
Well, yeah, because they're supposed to be able to see them in the day.
Well, no, they're supposed to emulate daylight.
Oh,
but also I just brought them. Oh. They're just like too bright, and it's the shade, the temperature, is the daylight color, not the brightness. The classification of daylight refers to the temperature of color. Or how I would say it. Not how hot the bulb is, but light, you can have like different temperatures. Is what I don't know why it's called this, but it's like if it's a really blue or a red or white, it's all different variants. Yes, but it's called temperature for some reason.
Amplitude.
Yes.
Frequency.
This is like a whole thing. I went down a rabbit hole about like lights. Okay. It's like a whole thing because you can have like certain, like there's all different shades, how dim it is, how bright it is. Can light be opaque?
No.
But yeah, it's this whole thing.
Light goes through opaque things.
The point is, I'm like,
well, the light bulb could be opaque.
What's the point? If the light bulb's opaque, no light gets out.
No.
This light bulb is infinitely bright, but it's opaque. How would you know?
Opaque is what you can see through. Like something's opaque if it's like semi-transparent.
Is it? Yeah. I think, well, then what does it mean when it's not? Like, I know, like, in my photo editor, opaqueness is, like, transparency, but I don't know, does it mean you can't see it or you can?
I don't know.
I don't know. But the point being, I replaced them all. And, like, Jamie, come in and tell me what you think of these light bulbs. And I turn it on, and it's like the light of God. Like, and it's just so bright. Jamie's like, no, what have you done? It's like they're almost, like, brighter than these. But I think it's just the fact that there's 4 of them.
Yeah.
And the annoying thing is, like, I like the room that bright, but the issue is, like, you need a lot of tiny light sources. Not, like, putting these all around the room is not the same as just having one really bright one in the corner.
Yeah.
Because it makes it impossible.
Well, it's like look around. Imagine the shadows cast from that.
Yeah, that's the big thing is, like, yeah, you get these, like, really harsh shadows. And that's why, like, while they don't do much, these umbrella lights are nice because it's just, like, anything to, like, light from, like, the side or whatever. Because if I just had bright lights in the front of us, yeah, you just get these really striking shadows. So, and that sucks. But I'm going to put those bulbs elsewhere so I can hopefully light some stuff.
Did you say those were LEDs?
Yes.
Yeah. Though I have an idea of how bright those were.
Well, like, I don't have to get them that bright. I just got them bright because I wanted bright lights. I should have gotten the dimmable ones. Oh, that's what I'll probably get in there. Because that way, at least I can just, like, turn them down. Like, I can get, like, the Hue ones like I have over there if I can find a good deal. Hue's expensive, though. So, and I have to buy 4 because it's like a set. Like, I need.
How often do you change them? Well, I guess not replace them. Like,
change the color?
Yeah,
fairly regularly. Normally, I would turn them to white. They're like orangish right now. But the main thing is not that I change them constantly, as much as it's like I can get it and I can put the exact color in I want. You know. Yeah. So I don't know if that color is necessarily possible, or the fact like it would also suck to say buy some light bulbs for a purpose and then they don't work.
Yeah.
And then I have to buy another set, and then all of a sudden, like, it's accumulating costs. I could have just bought this one thing that's future-proof, more or less. Just boom, done.
What you need to do is be like the mom from Stranger Things and just get a bunch of Christmas lights and, like, just hang them all along the walls. Mm-hmm. And then you can also use that to communicate with people if you have it set up to Like program the lights.
So I just do it all with hue bulbs and just like destroy my savings.
It's like giant.
But it is something I need to look into because like doing like stuff like if I want to do the shorts, I have to figure out how to like actually properly light it and be able to ideally not be so dependent on the weather. Or even just like it sucks like how like it's nearly impossible to like properly light my desk without again having these out. It just feels like this kind of weird perpetual twilight is what it creates. Especially if it's like at 3:00 where it's like how it's like it constantly feels like that having the sun going down behind me. You know, where it's like it's not time to sleep, but my body thinks it's coming, and that's annoying. And I'm trying to avoid that. That's why I wanted the daylight bulbs. But I also don't want to have like just 3 lamps around me. Like that's what I would sometimes do is I just get these box lights and I just like basically get it really tall and I'd point down at me to just have like light, and that was good. But then I had this massive lamp over me. So I don't know. I think I just need a house. Like if I had a house, all these things would be solvable.
I don't know if you would be able to do a thing where you essentially put up like a grid or something on the ceiling that you can just attach lights to.
There's definitely solutions. I just don't know how involved I want to get. You know, because it's not that annoying, or it's just like I have other problems I'd like to tackle first, but it is annoying.
Like what? Like what would be something you would want to tackle before that?
Getting lighting for like filming or like the podcast, or like investing equipment in that, or like a camera. Like I said,
Right,
I'd like to get like an actual good camera.
You have lights for the podcast.
It could be better.
Could be better.
Yeah, I'd like to maybe backlight this a little bit more so it like is even. Or I'd like to make. I feel like if I had a house, what I'd love to do is actually make like a podcast, like a set, like interesting thing in the background, and then make stuff more convenient. Because like for example, when we have a person in the center here, it's really inconvenient to be the center person and have the mic anywhere that's not annoying. So I could do like that, that, or this, or that. So, or like I don't know, it'd just be fun. Like for example, I wouldn't mind getting like lapel mics, just because that'd be useful. Like I have one. That's what I do like for Save the Channel. And I keep meaning to test
Those
this.
the ones that like you wear like right there,
like a lav mics. And like I keep meaning to do this, but what I want to do is like say, and I think I'll do this if I get a main camera, use that for the wide shot, and then record at least my audio with like just a lapel mic, because then I can like move all I want, or like that way the person in the middle can just not have to deal with the stand, but you still have decent audio. Plus, like they're super cheap. It's just like I just need to sit down and solve the problem of like converting it from the lav mic to like the XLR input or something. I tried it with these, and the one I have doesn't work. It's a whole thing. I haven't solved this issue. I'm still trying to find a good way that when I stream like Destiny or something, that I can have one mic and one set of audio out that mixes everything I need properly but keeps stuff independent. So like game chat comes in. Really the issue is like game chat on Xbox Live.
Like you want the game chat without it being in the actual audio of your video.
I do want in there, but I also don't want to duplicate my voice in certain ways. But then I'd like to have one mic. Right now, how I have to do is I have 2 mics when I stream. I have this mic and I have a lapel mic, and my lapel mic goes into the game controller. Okay. And then I have my wireless headsets, and that works so far. But like, it's a whole thing. It could be better. It's annoying, is my point. Like for a while, what I had to do is I would just wear the headset, like the gaming headset, and then I would have to put my headphones over that, because that was the only way to get like both. It's a whole thing that's annoying. But the point being is like I tried to fix it, and I just ended up ordering all these like, admittedly like cheap, like $5 parts, and just try different configurations. Like, does this work? Nope. Does this work? Nope. Does this work? Yes, but it's really faint, and it's like really crackly. It's like that doesn't work. Put this in. Oh, it's just screaming at me. That doesn't work. And it's just like, it's tiring.
Define screaming.
Feedback, like a really bad audio feedback loop. Just like, yeah. But it's like, it's not like on a speaker. It's like, I'm like, okay, okay, turn the thing on. Oh, instantly turn that back off. So, and it's this whole thing. It's just annoying because I'm trying to also get it to go into my audio interface, that thing. But yeah, it's just like things I'd like to tackle. Like for example, it'd actually be kind of nice to maybe try something where I could hook the mics, this is one thing I thought about. Like, hook the mics up to my PC and record all the audio through there to try and improve it, and then have it separated, and then also still going on the cameras. I don't know. It's a whole thing. But I'd like to get that working. There's so many things I like to pursue, but that's why, like, I was talking about this before. One of the things I'd like to see is maybe actually find some people through like Reddit or whatever, to just someone who actually does this stuff for like a living. Just do a quick pass, like, hey, here's my setup. Here's how this works. What would you tackle first if you had to fix my setup? So,
and you think that'd be better than Stack Overflow?
Yes, for sure, for sure. But that's
how you use that recently.
I mean, I use it all the time for work. You just have to look stuff up. I'm not allowed to post on it anymore because they thought all my questions were bad, and they're just like, you can't post anymore until you answer questions. But like, Stack Overflow questions are really hard to answer because apparently all mine are terrible and get blocked. But another person comes in, no info, doesn't make sense of what the question is. That's fine.
Did your questions get answered?
No, they get marked as duplicate and like bye. And they like, oh, duplicate. There's one over here. It's like that. Well, that question wasn't answered.
To bring that up?
No, I can't because I can't post anymore.
Well, you should be able to be notified who claims you have a duplicate, because someone's like, yeah, well, if that one's not answered, why should I wait for that one to be answered instead of just saying again? And because it's new, someone might actually answer mine.
You cannot argue with people of Stack Overflow. You will just get radio silence back. Just not worth trying. Stack Overflow works as a searchable database, not as a question answering service.
Why?
That's what they set out to make. They didn't want to have the same question asked over and over. So that's why they're so crazy about like, this is a duplicate. But it's like, no. Frustrating. Good resource, but frustrating to use. I don't want to go on a whole nother rant, but I could. It's like every week, it's something with them.
What if you make a big enough stink on the internet? Maybe they'll
I'm going to make a podcast specifically about just tearing down Stack Overflow.
Either tear them down or have your criticism help build them up. Either way you win.
No, I want to tear them down.
Want to tear them down? Burn it to the ground?
There are other communities are nice. Like, it's actually really distracting because like Stack Overflow has their other communities, and one of them is like a D&D one. And they have it like in other like suggested posts or something, I guess, on Stack Overflow. And I'm always reading some like really frustrating thing.
In D&D?
No, on like the Java one. But I see like a link to like some specific D&D mechanic. Like, that's neat. But I got to get this thing. It's frustrating.
I'm excited for D&D.
I am too. It's going... I don't know where we're going.
I don't either.
It's going to be interesting, though.
I was really afraid last session because I felt like we were going to die real hard.
I don't think I sent it to you, but there was that little dwarf rogue.
Yeah.
I rolled an attack, and it was like he didn't have advantage, but it still rolls it like as if you did, because it just rolls 2 dice.
Why?
It's just the way the attack's set up. So you can take it if you want. You know, it puts the 2 numbers side by side. So he rolled like a 16 and a crit. Uh-huh. And that way, if I'm a DM and I know he has advantage, I just look at that number.
Oh, okay. So it's like the regular system.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the point being, that critical damage attack, I think I sent to Walker. I cropped out some of it, but like even with other than stuff I cropped out, was like 60 damage.
Is that the one that hit Darren?
It was that attack. That was the attack. His normal attack basically ousted Darren, our cleric. But if he had advantage, he would have basically deleted his character. And the thing is, like, I just thought he was like a little minion guard mini boss thing. He is ridiculously strong. This is meta. You cannot use this information in game.
I won't. I'm just. Why 60 damage? Well, would that have killed?
This is Wizards of the Coast. They totally do that.
I can never remember what is the instant death criteria.
50% more than your max, I think.
Over?
Yeah.
So like say for instance you have 1 HP left and you have 50 health maximum. If they do 27 damage, you die?
I think so. I don't know. What was your max?
Okay, so 50 is your max HP. You have 1 HP. If you get dealt 27 damage, do you die?
No.
Because it's over half.
No, I'm saying you need to get dealt 75 for instant kill.
Okay.
That's my understanding.
Well, how would that have deleted him then? Because I don't think it's... Well, maybe his health is 40.
Well, there's other things
Oh.
like taking into account.
Oh.
So yeah, basically one of the effects is like poison. So it's like he hits, but then that's technically a separate instance. So
Poison?
it's like, yeah. What?
He has poison?
It's a poison status. Yeah, I'm not commenting on the game, but
If that's the case...
you don't know if that's relevant. But the point being is like he would go down from the hit, but then the poison's like a separate tick. So it'd be like you're down, next instance of damage that counts as a failed save. So it'd be bad. It'd be bad. I almost thought like I've thought about almost just doing a separate podcast for gaming and D&D stuff, but I don't think I'm going to. But that way we could like collect all this stuff. Because I could talk about it forever.
I would like to talk about it.
Yeah. So.
Well, Answer is spooked by the tumor thing.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't tell the rest of the party. That really surprised me.
Oh, I told more.
Oh yeah, what you didn't tell him like over the chat. You whispered him, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay, because like I don't see your whispers, which is annoying when people are planning stuff and the DM doesn't know. Just saying,
It's a legitimate strategy.
it is. That's how characters die. Like not out of like me doing like retribution, just like, oh, sorry, I didn't know that was happening. Here's the thing that I set up. It's still gonna happen. Like, oh, that's bad. So.
I'm just happy we didn't die because, like, especially because that was the Oni that unleashed that icy thing that like almost killed like, everyone upstairs.
Yeah.
Did he also do the darkness too?
Yeah.
Back to back.
Yeah.
Fuck that Oni.
I'm interested to see where the session goes, or the campaign goes.
My question is, what did this have to do with Darren's story?
You were gonna go there to get healed.
Yeah, but so why? How are these things related? Like, did you say like, oh, I've an idea for your story? You should make sure they end up here for that story arc.
Well, I already had the dungeon thing,
Right.
and then Alex, the guy who plays the character, wanted to do this kind of a thing,
Yeah.
where he goes and gets healed or whatever. So I was just like, oh, I know this is a thing. Why don't you? This is where I guess you would tell them to take him to get healed, and it just kind of worked out.
Okay, so it's just coincidental.
Yeah, it was a happy accidents.
My thing is though, what happened if I didn't like do the magic or like detect magic or?
I honestly, I
sense.
thought you guys were just gonna leave. It could have been fun. I guess it didn't work. Let's go. That could have been a fine thing. So I don't know. I don't know. But
We all would have maybe not almost died.
The characters are in dangerous, uncharted water, and there are very lethal things around them recently.
Yeah.
It is concerning.
The question is, are they still there?
Yeah. The thing though is, like, I want to have a rant about this. Is like, Wizards of the Coast, they must love to kill characters because they will totally have stuff like really high damage random rolls.
Like
for example,
Flame Skull.
Yeah, Flame Skull. Or like even going back to Horde of the Dragon Queen, they have like you leave that first town, so you're like maybe one, maybe level 2, unless you start at it earlier. And there's a trap encounter where like you get ambushed, and it can do like 30 to 40 damage.
Is that the one that?
It's where it's where DJ's character died.
Yeah.
And I think even then you guys took half damage, and I was a low
I
roll.
wasn't there, so I don't.
But it was just
I
like,
didn't take
I
any
remember
damage.
seeing that, like, this is ridiculous. They're like level 1, level 2. And it's just basically like, yeah, I guess if you didn't basically roll high on your stealth check or didn't think to stealth or didn't see them, you probably can just end it there.
Or would have been fine if Cole didn't say something about horses. Because like, were they talking to them cordially because they were in disguise, and I'm like, Andros was supposed to like tied up, like being used as like oh we've got a prisoner here or whatever, and then they're like, yeah, we rode on our horse and stuff. It's like, we don't have horses.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that did happen. No. I want to do that session where we just sit down and like describe our whole process of D&D. I think that'd be fun to have that record. But yeah, I just don't get it. Or even like I heard that Lost Mine in the Fandelver, one of them, it obviously has a lot of encounters that would kill you, and one of the ones that has the highest kill rate is actually literally the first encounter with the goblins. At the very beginning, the first thing you do is fight some goblins. And that apparently kills a lot of parties. And it's just like, can we just not count that? Because we just made these characters and we just started this campaign. Let's just do over. Mulligan it.
I guess you could say, like, if it's level 1, you've got so little utility.
Yeah. And you fight like 4 goblins, which are basically like level 1 rogues. So if you play them effectively and just get some bad rolls, goblins will totally kill the party. And just like, oh, well, that sucks.
I was going to say...
I don't understand their strategy here, but they love crazy damage.
Near Automata, I don't think you've started yet, right? No. There is... The first mission is really hard, in my opinion. Because you don't get a save, essentially, till you beat the first mission.
Ouch.
So, if you die anywhere in the first mission, you are back to square one. Then past there, it's fine. Not terribly challenging, but goddamn that first mission.
See, this is why I thought I had the idea of like maybe I should make a gaming podcast instead, so I could take all these conversations and still have them. But then I don't know if I had more time or more like resources, or I was better at this. I feel like that would be fun. So we could talk about that, and then I would have a reason to like I need to go play this game, like that. But it's tough. Yeah, I've been doing Destiny stuff a lot with Alex, the dude who played D&D with. We went for that new sniper rifle, really fancy.
Did you get it?
No.
The Whisper or something, the one that sleeps simulate thing.
Yeah. So, but I want to get more. I want to do, like I said, all these games I play. I really want to play Nier. But I know it's just like every time I start a game, it's like a thing. And I like that it's a thing. Like it's a whole big thing to go through and have this full experience. But at the same time, it's like, I just know how long everything's going to take. I just see everything as time. Like I know I'll love Nier, but I also know it's going to take like 30 hours or something. Mm-hmm. So, or even like short stuff. Like even if like Prey, that's easily like 9 hours, even if you just like blast it through the game. And it's just like, I know I'm going to like it, but it's going to take 9 hours. And I have to find that time somewhere. I don't know. I wish games were shorter sometimes, more compacted. Like I really get peeved anytime there's just like boring minutia in games. Or just like going through, I told myself I wasn't going to talk about gaming. Go at the end of Prey, running around, and we're just like, go to another loading zone. No, why in Prey, Andrew, why in Prey is there 2 loading screens and it's like a fake out? It's like the one with the tips, and then it goes to a second loading screen and it's like beep, but then you have to like wait for that loading screen to load, and then 30 seconds after that has loaded, then you can press A.
Is that the one where it has like the goggle thing?
Yeah, there's that one.
Right.
And then that one ends.
Yeah.
And then you'll have some game sound happen. And then there's usually a beat, I think. And then you're on the second one, which is just like a little loading logo in the bottom right. And then after that's done, then you can hit A. It's like it loads the level and then loads your configuration. It's like there's 2 separate actions there. And it has, every time when I leave to go do something, when I go through a door and I come back and it's like beep, oh, it's done. And I see it's the second loading screen. That got me so angry.
I don't remember this.
It's very so annoying. That set me off. That was my point. Or anytime there's like just like annoying, just minutia. I just want to do the thing. Why is the game not letting me do the thing? I gotta do some dumb other thing to go deal with it. It's frustrating.
I don't know. There are other games I was thinking about loading screens being annoying.
This is why we could do a game podcast and we could just rant all day about it and it'd be so much easier. Prey's pretty bad about those loading screens. It's pretty bad. We're at time, though. We're at an hour. Yeah. I don't want to, before I go on a huge gaming rant, which I'm trying to not do, I want to cut it off because I also like to get this out. And it's nice to have time to sleep during the week as well. So I imagine a time in the future where I can record a podcast and it can be done the same day. That's what I want to happen one day.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck with that. In theory, it shouldn't be hard. In theory, a podcast should take 3 hours to make. In theory. 3.5 to set up a teardown. 1 hour to record, 1 for the first pass, and then 1 for the second pass. Done. And then your export. It should be that, but it's never that. It's frustrating. So anyway, thanks for watching. This is Digression Bar 25. I was joined by Andrew. We'll be back again in 2 weeks. Let's get some Kool-Aide.